Healthcare professionals need to remember quite a few things when delivering the information to prospective parents. I think the main things they need to keep in mind are that health professionals may not understand the background of those prospective parents, their values, their morals, their decision-making processes, what they've been through in the past. So what the health professional may present to them may come from a place where the health professional feels comfortable, whereas the prospective parents may have different ideas of what they might do with the information. Some parents are not going to want to have prenatal screening once they understand the implications, and that's okay. So we must present the information in a non-biased, non-judgmental way and let them decide what's best for them as a couple.
I think that re-educating healthcare professionals on how to deliver news and how to communicate with patients and how to educate themselves on current information, it will, again, provide the best possible care.
What we all have to learn to do is be able to give unbiased information, is to be able to give two sides of a story and not be influenced either by our own opinions or by previous experiences that we've had. So I think that's probably the key way to think about these discussions and how you can be unbiased. Put yourself in the position of the person that's receiving the information and think about what you'd want to know in that situation, and that's a really good way of doing it.
As a healthcare practitioner, I get so many different questions that just vary in so many different natures around this kind of screening. It ranges from what do I do now to who do I talk to, what is this going to mean, what does it look like? And it's really important for me to then be able to give that knowledge and that education about exactly what they need to know about.
Taking into account the patient's values system or beliefs and position and their own life experiences can help them move forward on that decision-making process, I suppose. I mean, I admit to patients that I don't know everything. Yeah. So I think that helps them to say, I don't know all the answers, but I can promise you that I will be here to help you work through the answers that you need and help you find the answers that you need. So that's a way of supporting them without being the prescriber of what they need to do. So it's putting the decision back in their hands, but the fact that I'm holding their hand, I hope helps them.
So when giving results, it's incredibly important to be able to do it in a way that allows prospective parents to hear you clearly, but also give them some time for the information. So when we in the genetic counseling profession talk about it, breaking bad news is a skill that we're actually taught to help make sure that we provide the information in a way that is caring and calm, but also informative and doesn't hide anything. True upfront information is what those parents are going to want, but it needs to be delivered in a way that's caring and compassionate. Giving results can be challenging, primarily because of the time and space in which it needs to be done. We'd love to be able to book an appointment and have all the time in the world, but quite frankly, usually we don't have that. And so we're giving results by phone, and we need to do so in a manner that makes sure we give parents the option to have a space, that they're ready for that information, that you give them a warning hint that there's something coming they may not be expecting, and then you follow up with full information.
I actually had never really thought about the fact that a bad experience or a negative experience at diagnosis or early on in a family's healthcare journey could have such a big impact on how they engage later on. And one of the things that we've realised is that, you know, families seeking help for a problem such as sleep is actually really impacted by how they've found the healthcare journey at the very beginning of their child's life. So I think that's one thing that I would really like to highlight through the work that we're doing here, is that you can make a massive difference for a family all the way through their healthcare journey if you get this right at the beginning. Some families, I think this is their worst nightmare. They're not expecting to hear this information, and it can really be a grief process that starts very early on for them. And I think we have to be sensitive to that. I think for others, it doesn't really change much for them. You know, they have been excited about having a child, and they're still excited about having a child. Doesn't matter whether there's a genetic syndrome or not. And I think that's a very individual process that families go through, and I don't think you can even predict how you'll feel in that situation. So again, I think that's something we've got to be really aware of.
He informed us that trisomy 21, that there could not be a better time in life to be born with Down syndrome than now.